It's going to go down to the wire. The ticket to the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup title. Phoenix International Raceway next week, 3 o'clock Eastern time. And then the finale, the championship weekend, Homestead Miami Speedway, 3 Eastern time. Both races televised live right here on ABC. Interesting strategy developing here in the final laps. Now, these guys that went out and got 2 tires, like Jamie McMurray, the 0, 7, and 16, you know, that could affect him on this final stop. But before you answer that, let's check into the garage area where Shannon has caught up with David Gilliland.
Well, we saw the aggressiveness on the track, David Gilliland, and we heard from Juan Pablo Montoya. Can you just tell us your side of what happened?
Yeah, it's a shame. We got some tore up race cars and we got parked. But I got up and I got him in front of him. My spotter said I was clear, and I kind of slid up in front of him, and he jacked my rear wheels off the ground going down the back straightaway, and then got into me again going into turn 1 and 2 and jacked me up way up the track. And I was trying to let him go, and got a good run off the corner and just kind of misjudged it coming down across him. I was going to let him go. So felt real bad for those guys. I guess they were running 7th on the lead lap, and now our team's parked. So felt real bad for my team and Yates Racing, and as well as his, and you know, it ruined both of our days. So unfortunate ending to a pretty good day that we had going. So our City Financial Ford Fusion was running pretty good, and you know, not quite as well as we'd like, but you know, we were just off a little bit, but just a disappointing finish to a day.
All right, Doc, and hearing that David Gilliland will be going to the NASCAR hauler following the race.
Thank you, Shannon, for catching up with him. I know they had some discussions down there, and we'll let NASCAR decide. Now let's talk about what happened here now. On the previous stop, the 26 car, along with Clint Boyer, Biffle, Truex, and Dale Jr., these guys took on 2 tires. How's it going to impact what happens on their final stop?
Well, they have to make one more pit stop. And the key thing is how much lead can Jamie McMurray get out here on these other guys. He doesn't necessarily have to get 4 the next time. If he's got enough lead, he could maybe get right sides one more time, because they won't have but about 18, 19 laps to go once they make that last stop.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Yeah, can these guys, are the left side tires good enough to go that much time on these and not give up too much time? So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys play this, and they've got a nice lead. They've built up a nice lead, and be interesting to see, can they go on just 2 more tires once again? We haven't ever seen that here at Texas, but we've got a lot more grip. Jamie?
And DJ, if you look at those lap times, Boyer took 2 and Biffle right behind him took 4. Their lap times continue to be almost identical. Now this is the deal. Greg Irwin, crew chief for Greg Biffle, said, all right, buddy, we're going to take 4 tires this time. This was, of course, on the last pit stop. He said, I know we're going to give up track position, but we're going to have a plan. And that goes into our last pit stop, where we're going to be allowed to take 2 and gain track position. Now we're hearing down here, they're going to stop around lap 320 to 325. That'll set up for a shootout. Now I'm asking you, DJ, Andy Petrie, as a crew chief, what would you guys do? Take 2? Was that a good call, taking 4 on the last one?
Well, I can't make that decision right this minute, Jamie, because it's not time to pit. But when it comes time to pit, if I'm Jamie McMurray's crew chief and I've got enough lead, I'm going to probably gamble on taking right sides again, because I know the guys behind him probably will.
Let's get some opinions from the boys down in the pit studio. Alan, Rusty, and Brad, you've been watching. You're overlooking pit road. What are your thoughts on what might happen this final stop?
Well, guys, what I'm thinking right now, it looks like these guys are going to have to come down pit road around lap 320 and leave about 14 laps to go. So, I mean, Jamie McMurray's got a pretty good lead right now. Yeah, he did do 2 tires last time, and I'm with Andy. I believe I'm going to have to put 2 tires in that car again, because I just can't afford to give up all that track position. So 2 tires for me one more time, guys.
Not only track positions, you look at this field, I'm with you guys 100%. Look at the times. I mean, even the guys who've taken 4 tires, their lap times are not that much significantly different than Jamie McMurray's, and he's got enough of a lead. I think you're right. He comes in, gets those right side 2. I think he wins this race.
Now, here's another question, though. If this stop is under green, that's one thing. If the stop is under caution, Andy, and
that's
another whole story, right?
Under green. We're talking about under green.
Yeah, so that's what I'm curious to see. Now, that's one set is if it's under green. If it's under caution, what do some of these guys do to try and stay out in front?
They got to go 4 tires then. I mean, I believe that the grip's going to be very, very important. And you get McMurray, Boyer, Biffle, Edwards coming down under a caution flag, bumper to bumper. You got to put 4 Goodyear Eagles on that baby and go for it, because I think 2 tires just might get overhauled.
Well, plus it bunches the field up again, so it gives everybody a chance to get a run at him. I think right now what we're looking at is a great opportunity for Jamie McMurray to get a win. Just like Andy Petrie said, he gets those right side tires. He's got a nice lead, and I don't see enough of a drop-off from the 4 tires to the 2 tires.
Dale, what do you think about it?
Well, anybody that got 4 tires that last time that they pitted is going to definitely put on 2 tires, whether it's under green or under caution. So if these guys are going to put on 4 at any time, they're going to lose significant time to Carl Edwards and probably the 18 car also. So I think that you're going to have to about set yourself up that you're going to have to get 2 tires. If that was your plan from the beginning, you're going to have to stick with that.
And you're only going to have about 14 laps to run in the remaining race, so you don't need but like 1 can of fuel or probably half a can of fuel to make it on fuel.
Well, and all this time we've been talking, Jamie McMurray's losing some of that lead, and his lap times have fell off quite a bit. So that's why I said you got to wait and see when it's time to pit. What kind of lap times are you running? How much lead do you have? A lot of data goes into that decision.
And Andy, now you earlier in your career were an over-the-wall tire changer. You know the pressure these guys are going to be under. That money stop. Remember we talked about that? Here's Jamie McMurray's team that's not necessarily used to being up there in the lead when that money stop comes. A lot of pressure on those guys to try and take a deep breath and get over the wall and make this stop happen.
Yeah, but you live for those moments, Alan.
Let's check in on the 99 pits with Dave.
And was he not moving forward at such a fast rate because his car wouldn't handle, or because he might have been conserving fuel, or maybe they recalculated that? Listen to recent radio.
Keep being smooth, keep being smooth. We will have to stop for fuel again. We recalculated. We'll have to stop.
Okay, and I'm going to stop talking.
Stopping 4 laps, bud.
Sorry, guys, I'm gonna stop talking and start listening again, because then Bob Osborne told his driver, actually, we're only 2/10 of a lap short. So don't drive too hard. They're still talking about it. Could they go for it?
Well, I don't think they can make it.
That would be a long way.
Well, it sounds like, though, if it stays green, that the most they're going to do is put some fuel in this thing, that they're not even thinking about tires whatsoever. I can't imagine he can make it from there, but it's just going to take a splash of fuel, and these other guys are going to have much older tires to be going around on, and Carl Edwards is beating Jamie McMurray right now every lap.
They would have to go 69 laps since they last pitted. I just don't see him being able to do that.
Well, we haven't seen anybody even come close to that all day, Andy, right? And the restart was with 65 to go. We haven't seen anybody even approach that today, have we?
No, I haven't seen anybody come close to that. I'm not sure.
Best to conserve for a few laps while you got this cushion here. It's not going to make a difference. 10-4, conserving.
And how much they can ill afford to run him out of fuel, though, when he's starting to tighten up on this points race, DJ. You can't take that chance.
No, they can't take any kind of chance like that right now. They've got a good day, regardless of what happens here, whether they come back and win the race or not. They've made up a significant number of points, and they have to make sure that they do that to the end of this race.
One thing you got to be careful of, these mile-and-a-half racetracks like Texas and Atlanta look identical, but the lap count at Atlanta is 325 laps. It's 334 to make 500 here. I hope Bob Osborne didn't miss it by a few laps thinking it's same as Atlanta.